Alright y'all, welcome back to another Pokemon Draft League battle. This is week 3 between the Ambercrag Excadrills and the Lavender Town Blues. So they're bringing Alolan Ninetales, Arctozolt, Graplocked, Swampert, Poltegeist, and Corviknight. Alright, so I'm expecting him to lead with either Swampert or the Alolan Ninetales. If he leads Ninetales, then Excadrill is a good call, so I'm just gonna go for that. And see how we do. I feel like I've got pretty solid contingency plans for a good amount of his team. I thought maybe he'd bring Noivern, and he hasn't done that, so that's a little bit of a monkey wrench, but I guess I'm not too chuffed to not be seeing that. Looking very dapper. And leads with Graplock. That's interesting. Well, not a matchup that is too favorable to Excadrill. So let's maybe try going into Mimikyu. Octolock, I don't even know what type of move that is, but it doesn't affect us, so I'm cool with it. I'm not going to mess around, I'm just going to go for a Play Rough. He'll probably switch, maybe go to like Corviknight, so it's not worth setting up, and he does go to Corviknight, so this is, I'm sure, going to do absolutely nothing, but no, it does a decent chunk. I'm not mad at that damage. It's pretty solid. So I don't want to stay in against this. He might go for like a steel move or something. Let's try and go to Azelf and see if we can generate some momentum here. The fresh, shiny Azelf. So he does go for a steel move. Does almost half. And I'm just gonna go for a flamethrower. Again, play it safe, kind of feel out the matchup a little bit here. So he's gonna switch out. And I'm assuming that's gonna be Swampert? Yeah, so we could have predicted that and gone for Energy Ball, but it's a little early. But now that we know that he's kind of making the smart switches, that's good to know. So I do have a pretty intense counter for this, so I'm going to go to Heliolisk on a Balloon. So he can't touch us with any water move because we have Dry Skin, and we're on the Balloon, so he can't hit us with Earthquake or anything. Alright, sweet. So he goes for Flip Turn, tries to generate some momentum there. I'll just try and Grass Knot this thing. Okay, so he stays in. He has the Rindo Berry, I believe that is. So that does hardly anything. And then he hits us with a Rock Slide. Pops our Balloon, but that's fine. So I can go for another Grass Knot here freely. It's going to protect. I mean, I'm fine with that, because I don't really have a reason not to go for it. This thing needs to go away. So he is going to switch out now. He goes into Corviknight, which is not going to take much of anything from this, but we can just Thunderbolt. So that does like 0, but go for a Volt Switch. So I don't think the Thunderbolt would take this thing out. Oh, maybe it would have. So that was probably a misplay on our part, but we do knock it down to red. Let's go into Turtonator. Goes for Brave Bird. Should take this pretty well. No, just kidding. Goes nearly half with that. That's terrifying. See, I'm not going to get greedy and try and Shell Smash. I'm just going to try and hit this thing. Goes for Swagger and misses. That is unfortunate. Yeah, that would have confused us, upped our attack, and we could have hit ourselves, but alas, it is not 100% accurate, so Turtonator, KOs, Corviknight, Thrower. Now he brings in Swampert. Let's go into Azelf here as like a mid-ground, because he might go for like Earthquake, because it hits this and it would hit Heliolisk if I brought that in again, so he might anticipate that. And he does. Alright, so we played that well. So we're adapting a little bit, we're getting a little better here. Thing is, like, do I want to just go for a grass move, or do I want to U-turn out and try and get some momentum? Let's U-turn anticipating a switch. And he doesn't switch, so we made a good play and then made a bad play immediately afterwards. But now we can maybe predict a water move and go into Heliolisk, and if he does go for like flip turn, then we heal. Nice. Alright, well that worked out. Wasn't exactly what we wanted, but we'll take it. And then now I'm not going to screw around, and I am going to go for Grass Knot, but I'm sure he'll switch this turn, so we're kind of just doing a song and dance here. He does switch. Brings out Ninetales. So Grass Knot's not going to do much of anything to this. We're going to get hit by Hail. I'm assuming he's going to want to try and set up that Aurora Veil now. We don't really have anything that threatens this all that much. Excadrill can threaten it, yeah. So he does gut up the Aurora Veil, which is not the best, but could be worse. I'm just going to get up my rocks now. Yeah, he'd be insane to stay in on this, because I threaten it with steel moves. So he goes back to Grap Locked and set up thusly. Maybe do a mid-ground play to Umbreon, because I don't know that he can knock us out with a fighting move even if he goes for it, but he might predict Mimikyu again and try to go for something different. So Maybe this way we can like wish and pass the wish to something, get it back up to solid health. We'll see what he does. Okay, so he switches out as well and goes into Arctozolt. That's absolutely terrifying, but I don't hate this matchup because Umbreon is pretty much a beast. Should I just foul play this thing right away? I feel like I should. Let's try it. Goes for Bolt Beak. It's gonna hurt, but we take it reasonably well. And then foul play. It doesn't do nearly as much as I hoped it would. But his hail is gone now, so that's not a bad thing. And here we'll just protect, get some more leftovers recovery. Goes for Bolt Beak again. Thing is, like, would he predict my switch? It's possible, so I'll just go for a wish, because it's safer. And he doesn't, so he continues going for Bolt Beak. I'm curious if maybe he's, like, locked in. So do we want to pass this to something? That anything can take a hit from this is the thing, so I'm just going to play it safe and protect. Yeah, so just consistently going for Bolt Beak here, so I mean, it's kind of scary because if he does mix it up, like he could go for like Hydro Pump or something and really screw us, but I'm just gonna go to Toph now, anticipating him to either switch or continue going for that, and then we can threaten it back. Yeah, so he goes for Bolt Beak, that's not going to affect us. Aurora Veil is now gone, which is beautiful, so let's just go for Earthquake. Goes into Swampert. Oh, not Swampert. This is the names are throwing me. So he goes back to Grapploct. It's gonna take a fair chunk from Earthquake. So maybe now we go Mimikyu. See, I don't even know what Octolock does. Let's just Toxic. Okay, so he switches, anticipating maybe our switch into something. Okay, so sets up the hail again. It's not the worst thing in the world. We Toxic this, which is kind of not a huge deal. But this is the matchup I want. I do want Excadrill in on this thing. Because even if he sets up another Veil, like, I don't really care. I'm just going to go for Iron Head, because it'll probably knock it out even through the Veil. He goes for Blizzard. We take that very nicely. And Iron Head knocks it out. So Excadrill KOs Ninetales with Iron Head. So he goes back to this Menace. I don't know that I want to switch in anything because it's going to be super quick, so I'm just going to hope that we live something and go for Earthquake, because I don't really need Excadrill anymore. It's done its job. It knocked out Ninetales, set up rocks, so I'm going to Earthquake. Goes for Hydro Pump and misses. That is super unfortunate. Super unfortunate. So that, I mean, we are special defensive, but I feel like that still would have knocked us out, but alas. Excadrill with a skillful dodge. That really does suck though, Austin, I'm sorry. That's a bummer for sure. So because I don't want this thing to set up on me, I'm just gonna go for a Toxic. So I know that these things like to shell smash and do all sorts of shenanigans. I actually like this Pokemon a lot. It was one of the ones that I was thinking of picking up. Is Poltegeist. Yeah, so he does shell smash, which is very scary, but the veil isn't up. We do have answers to it, especially with Mimikyu that still has its disguise, which is great. Just Iron Head. Does Shadow Ball. We could have gone to Heliolisk there, but it's relatively risky. So Poltegeist KOs Excadrill with Shadow Ball. Alright, so we're gonna go into Mimikyu here. Going to set up a Swords Dance, because he can only break our disguise here. Goes for Giga Drain, whatever, break the disguise, but we knew that was going to happen regardless of what he went for. Shadow Sneak it up. Bang bang. Mimikyu KOs Poltegeist with Sneak. And we're sitting pretty right now, so he'll bring back in Swampert. It should die from a Sneak at that range. For +2, he's going to protect. Prolonging the inevitable, I think. Especially that Hail is worn off, he's not getting that chip anymore. Alright, so we knock that out. Mimikyu KOs Swampert with Sneak. In comes Graplocked. Gonna be faster than this. I don't think it gets a priority move. Let's hope that we hit Play Rough. He's going to Detect. Again, just delaying. We're not taking any passive damage here, so maybe just scouting to see what we wanted to go for, but don't have a reason to predict. Play Rough hits. That's going to knock that out. Mimikyu, KOs, grab blocked with Play Rough. Oh, and that was it. I miscounted. So that is GG. Late game sweep for Mimikyu. Good game, Austin. It was a tight back and forth to start that, but we came out on top. Mimikyu was just too much. We had counters to pretty much everything you had there. So good match for the Excadrills. We move forward. GG, sir.